Hello friends, I am Bhaskar, team leader of Team 9. We have performed our final year project under the guidance of eYantra from ERTS Lab, IIT Bombay. My teammates Uddhav, Nilek and I have completed our project entitled Remotely Controlled Robot. In this video, I shall explain you how to install various software required for setting and configuring our project and finally running it on your PC or laptop. The first thing you need to have is a Linux based OS, preferably Ubuntu. Next is the list of software and files that you need to run the project. The first one is LAMP. Out of that, only Apache and PHP are required. MySQL client, server and development files are the second requirement, and the third one is a zip file containing the project from GitHub. Installing LAMP. First of all, you need to download the exam linux.tar package from Apache Friends website. After you have downloaded the tar file, you can start a new instance of terminal and type sudo -t. It will prompt for your password. Just enter it and you will go into super user mode. After that, type tar xvfz and just navigate to the path containing your exam linux.tar file and just drag it into terminal. The path is automatically displayed. Type a -c/opt so that the files which have been extracted are copied into /opt directory. The extraction process will take quite some time. After you are done with the extraction, you have to start the LAMP service. So in order to start it, you have to navigate to the path and then type start. So just write /opt/lamp/lamp start. You will see certain daemons of XAMPP which are being started. If this extraction process has gone properly, then you should not encounter any problem while starting these services. Finally, it will prompt you by saying that XAMPP for Linux has been started. Now you can open your web browser and just type in localhost and press enter. Once that is done, you will be able to see a XAMPP logo. Click on English or whichever language you want to use, and finally you will see the main page for XAMPP. Now we come to the second step, installing MySQL Server on Ubuntu 10.10. First of all, go to Applications and open up a new terminal. Once when the terminal is opened, type in sudo space apt-get space install space MySQL-server space -y and press enter. You might be prompted to enter your password. Please do it. After the package has been downloaded, a window will come up as shown in the video. Here you have to type a password for the SQL server. So go ahead and type root as the password, as we have used that in our project. Finally, MySQL server will be installed. You have to install MySQL client as well. Step 3. Download the project from GitHub repository. First of all, go to the website github.com/bhaskarsuper9000/remotely-controlled-robot. Download the zip file from the GitHub repository and save it in your htdocs folder. Once you are done with the 3 steps, it's time to begin execution. First of all, open up a few terminals. In one of them, you need to type in /opt/lamp /lamp space start Apache, which will start your Apache and PHP services. After that, you need to type in MySQL -u root -p and enter your password, which is probably root. After that, you can just type show databases and verify that Zandu database is not present in your current set of databases. By typing in create database Zandu, you can create an empty database named Zandu. We need to import Zandu SQL from a file which has been given along with the project. To import, quit the MySQL prompt. You can also check out the path of your Zandu.sql file. Okay, now you have to type in MySQL -u root -p within quotes Zandu less than operator, which indicates that you are importing a database, and give the path of your Zandu.sql file. It will ask for your password. After keying in your password, please press enter. Now when you again type MySQL -u root -p and enter your password, type in show databases. If it shows you an extra database named Zandu, then you have successfully done the above step. You can also verify by pressing show tables whether 5 tables, namely bot, bot info, send to bot, session and user are existing in your database or not. Once you're done with that, open up a terminal, navigate to the path where you have currently downloaded the GitHub repository, that is inside htdocs. Navigate to the rs232 folder and then press /final_send. Final send is a daemon which will continuously loop until you stop it. Similarly, in the other terminal, you can start the receiving daemon. By navigating to the same path, you can start ./rcv, which is the receiving daemon. Once these two daemons have been successfully started, it's time to start your web browser and navigate to the path where you have placed the repository. Go to login.php. From there, you can enter the user ID as admin and password as admin, and then click on login. Now click on settings and then press reset to reset the database. Now we will test the register link. The registration page offers you validation. Once you have entered a new user ID and password, click register. Now if you log in using the newly registered ID and password, you will not be able to see the settings link. That is because the settings menu or the link is available only with the administrator. Now on the left you can see the number of bots which are currently available. 98 shows you the ID of the bot. Just click on it to load the robot. Once the bot has been loaded, it is shown under bots in use. First you have to increase the velocity of both the left and right motors. As the buttons are pressed on the interface, the corresponding movement of the robot can be seen below. So you can see the values of velocity have been transmitted to the robot through the database with the help of the daemons.
Now these are the forward, backward, left, right and stop buttons. So using these buttons will make your robot go in the corresponding direction. On the right you can see the canvas. Operations like zooming and panning are available on the canvas. The current position of the robot is also tracked on the canvas. Below the canvas you can also see the values of IR sensors, white line sensors and distance vector. There is also a voltage window available below the distance vector which gives you the actual voltage of the robot at that particular time. This can be used to find out if the battery of the robot has reached the minimum value, and proper actions can be taken to prevent the robot from stopping. The second tab in the middle portion of the screen is the port IO tab. In this there are three parts: DDR values, pin values and port values. Once you click on read, register values of the robot will be shown in the user interface. You can then change the values, and after changing the values you can click on write so that the corresponding changes will also be made in the robot. Here we had written to a port which is attached to the buzzer. The third tab is batch processing, where we can send an entire string to the robot. So these are some features provided by the interface.